Hello all, Jamie Rodgers here today from Creative Expressions, and today we're going to be looking at a lovely technique that is used to create this card, and we're going to be doing a quick card with the underwater theme dies from Sue Wilson. I'm also going to be using some Luna Paste. Now I love this stuff. This is one of our Cosmic Shimmer texture pastes. It is chocked full of large shards of mica, so it has the most beautiful sparkle to it. Now I've taken a small piece out and I've added it onto a piece of card, and I'm using a brayer to just take this across and cover the cardstock evenly. This is a water-based product, so you could water it down and paint with it. You can of course use it for all of your stencils, as it's a texture paste. It's just stunning. And as you can see through that little wiggle of that piece of card, if you do use it in the way I have, you can really plus plain cardstock and give it a beautiful finish. It looks actually very expensive. Now we're going to be using one of Sue Wilson's dies. This is our lovely Under the Waves frame, and I'm going to use the delicate part, the inner frame as such. There is an outside blade, and we'll be using that a little later, and that will of course cut apertures or backing plates to go under or behind your frame if you wish to. Now once this is cut out, now I'm going to be honest with you here, we have added our Luna Paste over the top, and although we've brayered it, it's still quite a medium to cut through. So this is going to make it a little bit more tricky to get all of your pieces out. It's cut beautifully, so there's no problem there, but because of that bond and that level of Luna over the top of it, you've just got to go in and poke the pieces out. There will be no problem releasing them, and the die is cut beautifully, but instead of where they might just fall out of standard card, they are going to just need to be poked out with this one. They're going to stay in your card instead of in your die, so not a problem. We can go in and remove them nice and quickly. I'm using a Vasson Creative die cut release tool, which is an amazing tool because at one end it's got a burnishing end and a pokey tool that you can push down on these little levers to get one at each time, or you can leave them up inside the actual product so that if you're carrying it around, you don't have to worry about putting your hand into your craft box and getting stabbed by your pokey tool, which I've done many times. So I quite love this one because I don't have to worry about that. At the other end, it's got a rolly tool, so it can clean out your die cuts, all your dies, and help release all of them areas, especially in sort of lattice dies and more filigree dies. That comes in really handy if there's lots of bits left in your die cut. Now you've probably guessed by the pens on the table already, but what we're going to do is, now we have got this and we've die cut it, we're going to use some alcohol markers to add some colour over the top. Now you might be wondering, well, why has he done this lovely Luna Paste background if he's then going to colour over the top and cover it all up? Well, this is the beauty of Luna Paste. If we add alcohol markers over the top, and you can probably start to see this already, you still keep that pearlescent shimmer come through, and you also get them large shards of mica still reflecting the light. So although we're adding colour over the top, you're just plussing your finish. You're not losing anything, you're adding to it, and you're giving it a lot more colour and depth and bringing that picture to life, but still maintaining all them lovely shimmery elements that our lovely Luna Paste has gone and put in place. So I think this is a really nice way to give you an idea of how you can use your Luna Paste as well. I tend to think when we look at texture paste in a pot and it's labelled as texture paste, we feel we've just got to put it through stencils, and absolutely you could do this through stencils, leave that to dry, and then go back and highlight small areas with alcohol markers as well. But actually going over your die cuts with it or over your backgrounds, you could also do a sheet of this and then emboss it in a 3D folder maybe, and then just highlight the tops of the elements of your embossing with your pens. There's so many options, so many ways in which you're going to be able to add this colour onto different parts and create really fun focal points or backgrounds, just because of the alcohol will sit, or alcohol pens will sit on top and still give you that sparkly finish. Now I'm going to be honest with you, it was about this stage of colouring I realised I really should have bought 3 more colours of pens, but my craft room is the other side of the house from where I film my videos, so I had to sort of go with what I'd got to hand. But of course, if you want to, you can add in as many shades as you wish to. The alcohol markers I'm using, these are Graphmaster alcohol markers. They're double-ended. We have a bullet tip at one end and a chisel tip at the other. But to be honest, I feel you could use any alcohol markers for this. As long as your Luna Paste is completely dry, I don't feel you're going to pick it up on the tips of your brushes or pens in any way. So I don't feel you would damage your markers. If you're at all worried, then use some inexpensive ones, or maybe if you've got an old set, play around with them first of all. I don't want to be responsible for ruining any of the really posh ones, so do play before you commit to using your expensive ones. Now, I think I'm coming to the end here of doing my colouring, so I'm going to start telling you a bit about the card blank we're going to be working on, because I'll hurry through it and you might struggle to keep up. So when we get onto the card blank, I'm going to be using a 7 3/4 inches by 6 3/4 inches card blank, and I'm going to go on with a couple of layers, just stepping down. So I'm going to use a 7.5 inch by 6.5 inch, and I'm going to use a 7.25 inch by 6.25 inch. And from there, we're going to use a silver layer at 6 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches, and we're going to use a white layer at 6.5 by 5.25. Now, the two top ones I've just given you, the silver and the white, are staggered down slightly, so I've left room for a sentiment to go at the bottom. And with my white layer, I've cut 2 of these, and I've cut one of the frames into the top of it. Now, this is using the outside die that comes in with, of course, your filigree frame die. So in theory, I've sunk my die cut down inside that frame. I'm then adding in a little fish that I've cut out of some silver mirror board, and then I'm going to add on a happy birthday sentiment, and that's coming out of this lovely scuba diver set that again was released in the Underwater collection. And that completes our card. Now, hopefully you can see that sparkle coming through underneath our colouring and really bringing that picture to life. All of the products I've shared with you today, everything from the rolly tools right the way through to the dies and the paste, are all available from all good creative expression stockists worldwide. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.